Hello everyone, good evening. I am Shravani Dev, the Research Assistant to the Sarvodaya the Rise Foundation. Welcome all again on this 7th webinar of SarvArogya on the topic Medical Education for a Changing India, Challenges and Opportunities. We are honored to have Dr. Hemchandra sir as our expert today. I request you to please keep your mics muted for discipline and save your questions for later. Once sir is over with his presentation, we'll be forwarding all of your question to him. Now I request Sneha ma'am, Editorial Director, Sarvodaya the Rise Foundation, to welcome our expert and provide program overview. Madam, please.
Thank you, Shravani. So, good evening, everyone. First of all, I'm delighted to welcome you all to the 7th webinar of SarvArogya. Also, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Prasad Institute of Medical Sciences, Lucknow, for supporting this initiative. First of all, on behalf of the entire Dirais family, I welcome Dr. Chandra, sir,
Namaskar.
who is the former Vice-Chancellor of H.N. Bahuguna, Uttarakhand Medical Education University. We are truly honored to have you, sir, with us today to share your insights on medical education for a changing India, challenges and opportunities. But before sir expresses his thought, let's set the context right. Why are we discussing medical education today? See, the world is changing, India is changing, climate is changing, technology is changing, and the disease pattern is also changing. Now, India has made a remarkable progress in expanding the medical education, whether be it in the number of the medical colleges, the undergraduate, the postgraduate seats, or the doctor population ratio. But still, there exists a gap in terms of the availability of the doctors, a gap also in terms of the students who dream of becoming a doctor and the students who actually get a seat. Every year, around 22 to 23 lakh students register for NEET and around 13 lakh qualify. Yet, there are just 1.3 lakh MBBS seats. The irony is 9 out of every 10 student who qualifies for NEET still cannot get a medical seat. Having spoken about the demand and supply gap, we now come to another pertinent question. That is the quality of the medical education in India. See, we need to understand that medical education cannot be measured only by the number of the colleges we build or the number of the graduates we produce. The success must be ultimately measured by the quality of the care that reaches the patient. A gold medal at the university does not make a good doctor. Academic excellence does matter. Scientific knowledge is indispensable. But the medicine is not just science, it is a profession that is deeply human. Much of our curriculum of the medical education still revolves around some standard clinical cases. These students discuss the same conditions during their hospital rounds and they are tested on similar textbook scenarios. But medicine in real time at the hospital does not work like that. As we have discussed, every day in the field of medicine, there is evolution happening. The burden of the diabetes, blood pressure, cancer, non communicable diseases, mental health issues, climate change is bringing a new set of diseases, digital health, AI is becoming the new reality of the healthcare. Apart from this, at the ground, every patient is different. Every hospital functions differently. Every day presents a new clinical challenge. The resources that are there at the tertiary care five-star hospitals are not there at the district hospitals or, say, the primary health centers. Yet, regardless of that, these circumstances, these doctors have to work. These doctors have to adapt and they have to deliver. And if they fail to deliver, they are the first target of the public outrage. The result? Every year, some of the India's brightest medical graduates choose to pursue a career abroad. Why are these young, talented doctors leaving India? Is it just about the salaries? Or is it about the research opportunities? Is it about the working conditions, the infrastructure, the career progression, and most importantly, the professional dignity? Retaining talent is not just an employment issue, it is a medical education issue. See, we need to understand that the future of the India's healthcare system will not depend on the number of the doctors we produce. It will depend on how we educate them, how we mentor them, how we inspire them, and how we prepare them for a healthcare landscape that is constantly evolving. And this is precisely the main discussion we aim to start through this webinar. Shrabani, over to you. Shrabani?
Now I request Sneha ma'am to share a brief profile of our esteemed guest.
Okay. Thank you, Shravani. Dr. Hem Chandra is the former Vice-Chancellor of H.N. Bahuguna, Uttarakhand Medical Education University. He has also served as the professor and the head Department of Hospital Administration and also been a medical superintendent at the Sanjay Gandhi Postgraduate Institute of Medical Sciences. An alumnus of the King George Medical College, Lucknow, Sir has made significant contribution to medical education and healthcare governance in India. He has served as the member of the governing body of the National Board of Examinations in the Medical Sciences and also has been a former member of the National Medical Commission, Government of India. He is the advisor of the Honorable President and the Director Hospital Services at the Himalayan Hospital, Swami Ram Himalayan University, Dehradun. It's truly an honor to host you, sir, today.
Thank you.
Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, all the family members of the SarvArogya, Madam Sneha and the Madam Sarobhini Day, and other audience or delegate, those who are present to listen this conversation today. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude and thankful to you for having contracted being so far from the Lucknow, though my black card is still attached to the Lucknow itself because my most of the initial life, approximately 50 years I spent in Lucknow. That is from the intermediate BSc and then MBBS, then the SGPGI for 30 years like that. And of course, that for having invited me for today this talk basically. And what I personally feel that part of my job we have already taken over. That is, you have already spoken before the audience. And now the medical education has what I would like to clarify. How much time I have? 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes? How much time?
Sir, you have 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20.
You see, I will start from the preamble. That is the what I recognize the word first of all. That is the health services. Isn't it? Health has got basically the medical aspects. That is the one aspect, medical and health, and the health, the medical and health, and the medical educations. The medical health primarily, of course, is dependent upon the medical education. Unless we produce the production or the doctors, what we call all, I personally feel all the healthcare providers, which include your doctor consultant, nursing staff, technicians, or other physiotherapists. There are so many nowadays in growing complexities in the healthcare services. Basically, there are many individualized postage have been created. They all come under the healthcare providers. But traditionally, if you see, we say only the medical education is the pertaining to the allopathy and the basically Ayush system and the dental nowadays. So I will now confine to that part, basically medical education here. Now, in the medical education field, we started in India. In fact, it was a act was passed initially before the independence, but after the independence in 1956, the Parliament passed the Indian Medical Council Act, based on which is still alive as of now, irrespective of that the Medical Council of India that is abolished, that the NMC has now replaced. But certain things I will tell you that still we are following, which have already been written in that particular Act 1956. So, in allopathy, basically, we have two branches, that is the medical, which we traditionally call basically the MBBS, MDMS, and then the DMMCH. And the dental part is the basically BDS or MDS, and there are super specialization in each specialty. In addition to that, if you say the medical education part, is the also the Ayush. Ayush is the separate mantralay, that is the Ministry Government of India, that has the Central Council of the Medical Medicine, which constitute basically Ayurveda, Unani, Tibba, Siddha, Homeopathy, and they all are the Indian system of the medical system, and they are yes prevalent, and government is also promoting the all thing in addition to the allopathy. So, but traditionally, usually, whenever we discuss, predominantly we are focused on the NMC part, that is the basically MBBS, MDMS or thing. But I would like to cover part or they include all the medical graduate, irrespective of fact whether they are the medical or dental or the Ayush, because every product out of these organization, they have been brought outside. They are well recognized by the government of India and are also placed equal on the same platform. That is the main important thing which I will like to tell you, Vikas. Now, they are different. They are governed by the like the MBBS, MD, MS, MCS, DM by the NMC, and Dental Council of India. It governs to the dental basically. If you say that the nursing, prominently we have the biggest number of the basically more than doctors. That is the nursing part. That is Nursing Council of India. Now recently, National Commission for the Allied and Healthcare Profession has also brought into the situation by in 2021, the Act of Parliament has been passed, wherein different other than doctor, nursing, pharmacology, and other all specialties they have been brought under the this particular commission. So these are the basically background about the medical aspects, and so far as interest is concerned, like you are well aware that very recently, day before yesterday, or in the last month, basically we have a trouble while organizing the NEET, and that need not to repeat that particular unfortunate part, basically. So that is the one of the method of selection for the MBBS and the MDMS and the super specialty also. But a parallel to the MBBS, MDMS, and MCSDM, I would like to tell you, there is another board of National Board of Examination in Medical Sciences, which is also governed by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. And it is equally important, the production or the outcome or the degrees conferred by this organization, because I am one of the members of the GB also. They are the basically the diplomate of National Board of Examination, that is equal to the MDMS. Okay, DRNB equal to the MCH or the DM, and the diploma also and fellow, and they are well recognized by the NMC, because final authority is the National Medical Commission, which is a governing body, monitoring body, and ethical body, and it has the 3 or 4 branches basically. The main branch is the Medical Advisory Council, and we have 4 boards in addition to that. That is the UG Medical Education Board, PG Medical Education Board, Medical Assessment and Rating Board, and the Ethics and the Medical Registration Board. So each board has got its basically president and the member included in these boards basically. Now, this for the first time, in fact, after having made the four boards, they and the different tasks have been divided to the each board. Earlier was the basically common. Now it has been divided. Now, question arises basically in India in comparison to the past, especially for the last 8 to 10 years. What I personally feel that there is a mushrooming of the medical colleges in the allopathy system, I am telling you, also in the IUs also. Why I am talking mushrooming, that I am going to justify why mushrooming. Basically, I can also tell it have been increased traditionally, but mushrooming in the fact of that we are not in position to cope up with the basically to run these medical college due to many reasons, which I will come in the basically challenges and the opportunities. That part is that. So we have in India approximately, as of now, if you say that total, I am telling that the medical colleges have been reached up to the 823, and the number of MBS seat, one that is the 1,36,000 or 34,000, and the PG seat MDMS 58,331, super specialty seats board, that is DM 200 300 no, to 2,330, and the MCS approximately 2,000 seats. In addition to that, the parallel degree which is conferred by the National Board of Examination, that is the DNB diplomate equal, that is 9,000 approximately MDMS are being produced every year from National Board of Examination. In addition to the NMC itself, I will tell you. Then more than approximately you can say 3,000 DMMCH also, they are also producing. Fellow members, they are producing diploma approximately 3,498. So this is the production so far basically from the medical college, total out of 823. Recently you are in picture basically that day for yesterday, the government has also added upon approximately 9,900 additional seats to the different medical colleges, which constitute the increase in the number, and also some of the new hospitals or the new medical colleges, they have been taken into the place. Now, I personally feel basically there are two methods of assessment or the judging the thing. One is the as per the ratio, that is the 1:2 in the population, one doctor in relation to the 8,000 population. And if you say our population, I will tell you, the population, our 80%, 75%, it stays in the village areas. And the village areas, they are the confined with the catchment areas by the PSC and the CSC. And every PSC and CSC must have number of already allotted number of the doctors. And at some places they have been posted and some places not posted. Usually I will tell you one background that every time whenever we are going to open new medical college or increase the seat, we always take the population ratio in the comparison of the doctor and others. So we always say there is a deficiency, there is a deficiency, there is a deficiency, and based on that, we add upon the medical colleges and the number of seats also. But invariably, you must be also watching, and I am also the sufferer of the same scenario. At the most of the PSC or the CSC, they are lacking behind of the doctors. Now, question arises. I have calculated that how many are required per year or how many we can have. In that context, in fact, the proportionate which every year we are going to produce the manpower, especially the doctor, is sufficient for that, provided that, despite the fact that the government recruits them and even they recruited and the doctor are staying there. Now question arises, two things. Recruitment part in some of the states due to the deficient of the budget, they are not fully recruited. Secondly, wherever they are recruited, if you really go sometime to the PSC level and see the standard of the PSC as to infrastructure of that part and the staying or the residential facility for the doctor or the pharmacist or the ANM or the other staff having approximately 20 staff is there. And they are not at all comfort. I am not asking for a luxury one. I am asking at least for a comfortable residence for them where a doctor in initial phase when they do not have the any liability like the children and the school going and others thing, at least they can spend their initial life. They can spend. That is the absolutely I will tell you lagging behind. First of all, why the doctors are not going because a doctor who has been taught in a medical college who is in town now still ready to go to the village provided that you make certain comfortable living standard or the infrastructure where he is going to produce. That is the main thing I will tell you they are not going as you are doing. Now, gradually, I will tell you now the opportunity because you have given that part. There is a ample opportunity has grown up nowadays by adding these all colleges and the or the what you call is the increasing the seats also, PG seats and the super specialty seat. Many private corporate hospitals they are coming, and they recently you must have heard or gone through the newspaper. Now onward, basically, the government has given a permission to open to spread out the medical education only in the context of not for profit. Isn't it? Now, government is NMC has now opened a Pandora box. I will tell you, go for the profit. Go for the profit means now so far off as the idea behind that what we are talking so far that now it has become a business. Now it is open by the government or by the NMC. So it means more and more corporate world will flourish, I will tell you, and more medical colleges will come out. And the problem will be, we will discuss just now basically, that will be under the challenges. So this is the part, and they will more and more clinics. Super specialization, I will tell you, or the specialization. At our time, I am a batch of the 77. That time, approximately next year, we are going to celebrate our Golden Jubilee. That time, it was the topmost MBBS student likely to go into the basically pediatrics or the medicine. Then ladies had the gynecology and obstetric. And these are the choices basically. If you see nowadays, madam, you will find out the topmost go to the radio diagnosis. Now, radio diagnosis. Reason, first of all, reason is the paying branch. After having done the radio diagnosis, basically, immediately you are picked up by the corporate world, giving 6-7 lakhs will be immediately in your hand. In comparison to that, he is going to deny to become a faculty member in the medical college where he will be getting only 2 lakhs or 2.5 lakhs. Secondly, a radiologist is always not in direct contact of the patient. He is behind the bar, basically behind the bar, giving the report and giving the instructions to the doctors basically as to how to proceed on or the diagnosis based on the diagnosis, but not coming in front so that is not more exposed or the potential towards the nowadays with the number of quarrels or the miscommunication going on between the patient and the doctors nowadays. At a distance that the bond which was initially built as an ethical bond between the doctor and the patient is now gradually increasing. So the radio diagnosis has gone that part basically. Similarly, the development in the super specialization basically, the cardiologists, they are on the top nowadays. Now I'm just giving you the trend also. Initially it was a medical branch And if any surgical procedure is likely to be done, that is by the CVTS of doctor, surgeon, cardiac surgeon. But if you see after the invention of the PTCA, angiography and other things, the part of the job of the surgeon has also taken by the physician cardiologist. So there is always, I will tell you, more and more we are going towards the super specialization, advancement in the form by the development of the technology, and more sophistication is arising basically. And sometimes the diagnosis or the management of the treatment becomes overlapping to each other. So this is the another aspect basically. We have enough opportunity in the future basically. Doctors are gradually increasing, but a time will come definitely. Time will come definitely when the government jobs are completely filled up, okay, or and the market will be saturated, and the medical colleges are increasing. However, it will be completed, and then at that time it will a problem for the graduate, especially after the MBBS, if he is not getting the PG in the respective subject, basically to where to go. That is the basically here the opportunity they have to see that in the beginning where they are going to settle down themselves. That's why I think very interesting. If you see initially 10 years back, there 10 or 15 years back, the doctors never attempted for the IAS, IPS, or the PCS and others, isn't it? And now, and it was the basically IITM, those remain on the top and getting success in the IS, IPS, or the PCL. Now, the plenty of doctors they are applying and getting selected for that thing. Now, question arises why? Why basically they are going there? Why they are not satisfied there? It's a basically giving the importance to the medical profession nowadays, and authority at the same time basically they do not have, and growing inculcation or the basically altercation and other so many social, ethical, political compulsion from the society. Someone also start thinking sometime that we should go to the basically change the other branch. Even after I have seen after PG they are going to the IS option. I can say that after MBBS that's a minimum requirement is the graduation. But once you have done in a good subject, PG, and now you are trying to go to the basically IS and IFS, it means not satisfied. Secondly, you have destroyed one post, one seat, which otherwise would have been given to the some other person. And it is now basically spoiled because throughout your life you will not be allowed to do medicine because you will never be registered out of that. So that is another problem. Now, challenges are the, of course, I will tell you, Keith, there are many challenges in the medical education, especially. We are confined to the allopathy now, or the MDS, the BDS coach, MBBS, or MDMS. There are certain in the medical education gradually increasing. Number of seats have been increased, college increased, and government is much basically happy that we have. A government is, I think, what I personally feel, more inclined toward the quantity rather than the quality, because that I will cover. The challenge is UG and PG mismatch, and I told you number of MBBS are very large amount and PG are very less. So remaining what they do basically they will go only for the private practice or the government job or if you get otherwise basically quite possible that sometime this ratio will increase day by day. Reason being, I will also tell you, the pre and para clinical PG seats at the same time, they are most of them they are lying vacant. You see the percentile they got usually NEET after the NEET examination result, they go for the 50% percentile for general, 40 for the reserve, and you have been watching for the last 5 years that 50% comes down to 30, 20, and finally it comes to the zero also. And very ashamed for the zero doctor having the zero marks basically and getting the PG, despite of that fact. 90% the pre and paraclinical posts, they are like vacant. Now what will happen? Challenge I will tell you. And if you are not having a proper MD, MS in anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, or forensic medicine, pre and para or pathology, microbiology subjects, they are the primitive subject. They built up the base of the doctor basically. So in future, absolutely, I will tell you after 3 and 4 years, still as of date, we are facing the deficiency of these doctor anatomy, of faculty in anatomy, faculty in physiology, faculty in biochemistry, faculty in forensic medicine, then the deficiency of the faculty member in particular the department is going to weaken the base of the that MBBS student study. That is the biggest challenge I will tell you, because it never can be replaced by anybody. So I am in favor of that. These basic subject where the students are not opting for the PG should all be inculcated, mixed with some clinical aspects, so that a matter of interest may arise to some of the candidates. They can opt for these specialties, and at the same time, like anatomy. Anatomy is a subject without having known about the anatomy. A radiologist cannot work basically, because everything depends upon the anatomy, isn't it? If both the department are mixed, some such type of provision can be mixed up, so that people can opt or come forward to join for the anatomy also. Like the physiology also, once you know the physiology, you are a good doctors also, and the medicine part. So we have already given to the NMC this type of the recommendation. I think one should think for the future. So vacant seats are there due to this reason basically, faculty deficit. Now the faculty is not number one. These specialization, they are not getting the doctor basically to do, and the education will be weakened. In addition to that, I will tell you, people are not coming to join the medical faculty. Why they are not joining? Reason there. In the corporate world, specialization immediately they get plenty of the money. Not only the radio diagnosis, in other specialties also, and especially, and then then the new medical colleges, they are facing the deficit, or sometime I will tell you the established medical colleges. You take the example of the AIMS, I will tell you. As of now, we have approximately 21, 22 AIMS. And other than the AIMS in that is New Delhi, every AIM has got not more than 50% strength of the faculty. I will tell you, AIM are the structures or the institutions where all facilities are given by the government. Despite of that fact, they are not joining the thing. Reason being, unlimited facilities, what they are considering in comparison to the corporate. But it's a problem for the government that government cannot act like the corporate. We could not provide that much of facility, or we cannot provide that much of the remuneration to what they are getting in the civil organization. But this will continue for some time unless there is a super saturation in the market. Once the market will be super saturated, then the people will start coming back to the colleges despite of fact what type of salary they are getting in future basically. Infrastructure, I will tell you. Most of the new colleges, those who are coming up, they do not have the full structure. Now you see, go to the anatomy department. In any department, you won't find any the category, more than one or two sometimes. Nor they have the skill-based anatomy basically. They are dependent on some other colleges or something like that. So from where the student is going to learn about the anatomy. So that is the infrastructure. In addition to that, also we will tell you, other structures are available for the machineries or the other things for the production of a medical college. They are deficit, especially in the private sometime. What happens basically, the moment the inspection team is about to come and they will try to arrange it, but after that dismantle or thing, or shifting or mobilization of resources from one place to other place to other place. Same happens with the faculty members also, because one has to fulfill the NMC requirement. That is the, and the, now another thing I will tell you, in view of the faculty deficit, now the NMC has also declared that even we can go for the diploma for the teaching purpose. That is sub-standardization. I am not at all happy with this decision. A diploma, PG diploma holder is going to teach the MBBS or the PG. That is never accepted. But in view of the deficiency, they have also adopted this. Another seat is basically intolerance in the nowadays has become in the student. The student has become so much smart, what you say, or there are great instructions given by the NMC. Not only the ragging, I will tell you. If you really, madam, I will tell you sometime you go to the any medical college and interact with the faculty members. They are afraid of that teaching. Reason being, nowadays you cannot say anything other than your lesson to a student, because immediately they reciprocate in terms of that he has been tortured by the teacher. That is the thing, and immediately there are instructions that he can straightway write down to the NMC. That is the problem basically, and the legal aspects are very tough nowadays. And most of the time, I personally feel our doctors or faculty, medical education, they are afraid of that. So Guru and Shishika, it was a relation between Guru and Shishya in the past, basically, what we have suffered. That by virtue of that, in fact, we are here. Now, these students, you cannot say anything or raise your finger, basically index finger towards that. That is the thing. If he or she is absent, so whatever explanation they give, we have to accept like that. There is no argument basically there. And social, doctor basically education is a, basically these doctors, those who are a teacher in the faculty, are also at the same time, they are the consultant or doctors for their hospitals. So as you know that the social, political and administrative threats outside, so these are the basically challenges, and what I personally feel they are facing in the medical education system in our countries. I will tell you. I cannot say about the other country, but these are the things. So I think I've taken 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So it's in a nutshell, and the part of my job was already done by you. And still, but I can say our system of the medical education has grown up in comparison to the past for the last 15 years tremendously. But we have to see one thing I will tell you. If you have the quality of the medical education and not only the quantity, and which perhaps everybody is saying that it is the effort towards the increase in the quantity basically, but the quality nobody is going to watch it. And this is going a disastrous in the future if we continue or grow like this and without comparing with the quality aspects, and that it will be a disaster. And ultimately the production which will be coming out, number one, will not be sufficient in their knowledge, skill, or they are directly concerned with the human body, I will tell you, human concern. And secondly, basically, the unemployment will become a real problem after some time, like the PDS now they are going here and there and taking the basically some other type of the job and leaving behind the dental surgery, because nobody is going to opt them basically for that purpose. Anyway, but the government has to, number one, I have to see, and they are colleges are built up by the faculty, I will tell you. Number one requirement is the faculty. We should never compromise in the standard of the faculty, number one. Then the availability of the infrastructure wherein the student can learn. Once they will get the qualification or skill from that, that is will be the beneficial towards the medical education basically. Education means production of the manpower for them, so that they can deliver their best out of coming from the college in the society. So these words are from my side. So any introduction if you want to say, then we can have that.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू। पहले तो बहुत बहुत थैंक यू। एनी क्वेश्चंस, एनीवन? Any questions if you have?
Our floor is open, so whoever wants to ask question, you can drop your question in the comment section as well if you are not comfortable unmuting your mic.
Hello,
Lakshya, please go
am,
ahead.
am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Good afternoon, sir. First of all, thank you so much. Thank you so much for such an informative session. काफी informative था और काफी knowledge में भी update हुआ, expansion हुआ है। Just एक point मैं clear करना चाहता हूँ। आपने बीच में discuss किया था कि some MBBS graduate और some post graduate also they opt for IAS and IPS segment. तो मेरा एक बस इसमें पर्सनल ओपिनियन है जैसे, तो मैं एक बार वही बस आपसे एक बार डिस्कस करना चाहता हूँ कि जैसे जितनी भी हमारी मेडिकल काउंसिल है वो ऑलमोस्ट जितनी भी मैं जानता हूँ या जितना भी मैंने देखा है, उनके जो रजिस्ट्रार की पोस्ट होती है सभी आईएएस या आईपीएस ही होल्ड करके रखते हैं एंड दे हैव जीरो नॉलेज अबाउट व्हाट एमबीबीएस ग्रेजुएट गो थ्रू इन हिज होल लाइफ। तो अगर कोई एमबीबीएस ग्रेजुएट या पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट उस सीट को ऑक्यूपाई करता है तो वो मेडिकल कम्युनिटी के लिए बेटर होगा या नहीं होगा। एंड अदर देन दैट जितनी भी हमारी हेल्थ पॉलिसीज बनती हैं आईएएस और आईपीएस ही उनमें इन्वॉल्व होता है, उन पॉलिसीज को फ्रेमवर्क करने में, उनको इम्प्लीमेंटेशन कराने में, उनकी सारी ड्राफ्टिंग करने में। तो अगर एक एमबीबीएस ग्रेजुएट या पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट उस पोजीशन पे होता है जो हेल्थ पॉलिसीज बनाएगा इन फ्यूचर, तो एक आईएएस या आईपीएस अगर ज्वाइन करता है कोई स्टूडेंट एमबीबीएस ग्रेजुएट, तो वो देश के लिए बेनिफिशियल होगा या सिर्फ एक सीट वेस्टेड की तरह हम उसको देखेंगे। तो वो मतलब मेरे को वो वाला पॉइंट समझ में नहीं आया।
नहीं, बिल्कुल आप सही क्वेश्चन है आपका। देखिए ऐसा है, पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन या बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट के हिसाब से एमबीबीएस इज ए डिग्री ओनली, इट्स अ डिग्री ओनली। लाइक आपका बीए बीएससी जो है बीटेक, उसी तरह से आपके एमबीबीएस जो है आपका बैचलर ऑफ मेडिसिन, बैचलर ऑफ साइंस। So once you are the MBBS, you will become eligible for any type of the public service commission और पब्लिक वाली पोस्ट के लिए आप कर सकते हैं। पहला तो ये हो गया। So एक तो एलिजिबिलिटी वो उसकी कंफर्म होगी, because otherwise what happens, you can be enrolled in the MBBS immediately after the intermediate also, but after immediately you cannot become an IAS or the IPS because minimum requirement is a graduate. So now you are MBBS, so you are a graduate. Now question arises, after having taken into admission in the MBBS medical college and completed 5.5 years or something like that, and now joining the IAS and IPS, there are two aspects of thinking in respect. That is why the government so far could not do anything, not for the doctors, only for the engineers. IIT also देखिए, IIT में भी लोग कितने निकलते हैं, वो भी 5 साल पढ़ता है, उसका एमटेक भी करता है, उसके बाद जो है आईएएस में आ जाता है। सो एज पर अगर हमारा जो अधिकार है, बेसिकली हमारे जो अधिकार के हिसाब से नोबडी कैन नंबर 1 स्टॉप अस दैट यू आर ए डॉक्टर एमबीबीएस और एमटेक और द बीटेक और समथिंग, यू कैन नॉट अपीयर फॉर दैट। सो अब क्योंकि इसलिए नहीं कर सकते हैं कि हमारे आर्टिकल 21 के हिसाब से ये हमारा अधिकार है कि हमें ग्रेजुएशन के बाद हम कहीं भी जा सकते हैं, अनलेस हमने इसको पहले से रूल नहीं बनाया हो। पहली बात तो ये है। सेकंड क्वेश्चन ये उठता है कि नेचुरली 5 साल आपने करने के बाद, क्योंकि ग्रेजुएशन करने के लिए तो आपके पास और भी लाइनें थी, आपने एमबीबीएस को चुना। उस समय ये हो सकता है कि भाई डॉक्टर बनने की इच्छा थी, मगर समय जैसे अभी आप देख रहे हैं ना, हमने बात की ना, देखते 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 डॉक्टर को कितनी इज्जत कम होती जा रही है, डॉक्टर के झगड़े कितने होते जा रहे हैं, एम्प्लॉयमेंट की कितनी प्रॉब्लम हो रही है। साथ के आदमी को अगर आप पीएससी पोस्ट करते हैं तो आपके पास कोई फैसिलिटी नहीं है, वहीं एसडीएम जो रहता है तो वो बड़े ऐशो आराम से रहता है, सीडीओ जो है ऐशो आराम से रहता है, प्रधान साहब अपनी खिंचाई अलग करते हैं, आपकी जो है हर और नेता जो होगा किसी भी पार्टी का, चाहे नहीं भी हो, वो धोती और डंडा लेके आ रहा तो वो आपके ऊपर जो है बरस रहा है। तो आपके दिमाग में इस बीच में सोशल लाइफ में रहते रहते लगता है कि एक बार मैं ट्राई करूं, इसमें तो कुछ ज़्यादा दम मुझे दिखता नहीं है, मैं इस लाइन में चले जाता हूँ। तो देखिए, एक तरफ से लॉस तो हुआ है पास, अगर आप नहीं लिए होते उस सीट को तो कोई दूसरा आदमी लेता बेसिकली। और एक मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा, देखिए ये चैलेंजेस भी हमारा और मिसमैच भी है। जैसे प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल्स, अगर आप प्राइवेट मेडिकल कॉलेज से एमबीबीएस करते हैं तो लगभग 20 लाख पर ईयर के हिसाब से लगता है। गवर्नमेंट में चलिए 5-6 लाख, 6 लाख, 7 लाख मिल रहा है, बट एक गवर्नमेंट इटसेल्फ जो है एक प्रोड्यूस करने में जो उसकी फैसिलिटी होती है, एक 5 साल में कम से कम 1 करोड़ के आसपास गवर्नमेंट खर्च करती है एक डॉक्टर बनाने में, अगर देखा जाए। इनडायरेक्टली अगर आप देखें गवर्नमेंट को तो लॉस है, बट डिस्पाइट ऑफ फैक्ट हम कोई रूल नहीं बना पाते हैं। तो अब ये खाली इट्स अ मैटर ऑफ द डिस्कशन। हाँ, सवाल ये उठता है, चलिए आप यू आर ए मेडिकल ऑफिसर, आप आईएएस और आईपीएस में आ भी गए, आईएएस में आ गए तो ये कहीं लिखा नहीं कि आप डॉक्टर हैं तो आपको हेल्थ सेक्रेटरी बनाया जाएगा या हेल्थ की कोई पोर्टफोलियो दिया जाएगा। एक बार अगर आप आईएएस बन गए और आपने लाल बहादुर शास्त्री एकेडमी मसूरी में ट्रेनिंग ले ली, तो फिर आपको मतलब आप हिंदुस्तान के जो है सबसे बड़े आदमी बन गए, आपको कहीं भी भेजा जा सकता है, क्योंकि ये माना जाता है कि आपको हिंदुस्तान के बारे में, सारी प्रक्रिया के बारे में, चाहे एक दिन भी वहाँ काम कर रहे हैं तो सभी आपको मालूम होगा करके। That is why in all the head of department, the secretaries are basically placed here. Nowhere you will find कि एक ट्रेडिशनल या प्रोफेशनल आदमी by virtue of putting so many years in service and go up to above the डीजी के ऊपर कोई नहीं जाता है, सेक्रेटरी हमेशा आईएएस बनते हैं। तो ये एक किस्म से अब सवाल उठता है, अगर सपोज कहीं पर उसको ऐसी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है to look after the medical department or serve with the medical department, then definitely I am telling you, he will be in position, in better position to understand the situation. बाकी उसके हाथ में कितना है वो उस समय उसकी पोजीशन के हिसाब से समझा जाएगा। एंड आप ये भी नहीं कह सकते कल को कि कल को अगर कोई इंक्वायरी हो रही है या कुछ हो रहा, वो मेडिकल है तो आपको ही फेवर करेगा। नो, आई हैव सीन दैट a medical person or the IITian who has been basically alumni of these medical colleges or the IITs and acquiring at the moment the highest post and sometimes not favoring to them due to undue advantage। ऐसा भी नहीं है। तो ये आपका क्वेश्चन जो है पूछने में तो बहुत सही लगता है, ये कितना फायदा देगा इसका किसी ने अभी तक इवेल्युएशन नहीं किया है। और सोचना अपना अपना तरीका है सोचने का। अगर आप उनसे बात करें जो बन चुके हैं, कहेगा भाई मेरे लिए तो मेडिकल ग्रेजुएशन एक बेसिक क्वालिफिकेशन थी, मैं उसके बाद मेरा अच्छा नहीं लगा, मैंने अपना ये देखा आजकल के ट्रेडिशन में आईएएस में निकल आया अपना। दैट इज द थिंग बेसिकली। आई होप इट्स ए क्वेश्चन ऑफ डिबेट बेसिकली, एंड जब तक कोई रूलिंग इसमें नहीं बनती है तो आप और हम इसमें कुछ ज़्यादा कर नहीं पाएंगे। एंड अगर आप बनते भी हैं तो कल को आप कितना अपना प्रोडक्शन दे सकते हैं टुवर्ड्स द मेडिकल साइंस, वेरी नॉमिनल, अनलेस पहले तो आपको वो फील्ड मिले नहीं मिले ये भी जरूरी नहीं है। होप यू आर सेटिस्फाइड।
Lakshay, I hope you are satisfied. Dr. Lakshay? I think there is. Any other questions? Any other questions?
Yes, ma'am, I have one.
Okay, Pragati, go ahead. Please tell your association with your medical college and then go ahead with your question.
So good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir, ma'am. I am final year MBBS students in Government Medical College, Sangareddy. So this is sort of a newish started medical college. We do not really have much people and more batches ahead of us. So medical field mein we always talk about networking, knowing all the people. Whenever we go and see doctors, so most of the doctors, it's like everyone knows everyone. People know people, doctors know all the doctors around. And in the newish colleges, we do not have much of network. So does the network really matter? What is the importance of network and how do you start networking? When do you know people? Like how does everyone know everyone? Does it start in the medical college itself or does it happen as you gain experience as a doctor? And yeah.
प्रोसेस को आप बताएंगे, आवाज क्लियर नहीं सुन पाया था मैं इसको जरा।
सर वो कह रही है कि नेटवर्क सिंस वो अभी उनका गवर्नमेंट मेडिकल कॉलेज संगारेड्डी अभी नया खुला है।
कहाँ पे है ये, कहाँ पे है?
संगारेड्डी में है सर, संगारेड्डी।
संगारेड्डी विच स्टेट? आंध्रा?
Telangana, sir. It's near Hyderabad. Yeah.
Okay, yes, then Hmm.
तो इन्हें वहां नेटवर्क करने के उतने अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं मिल रहे, तो ये वही जानना चाहते हैं कि हाउ डू वी नेटवर्क सर, जैसे डॉक्टर्स और डॉक्टर्स से कैसे मिल सके ताकि उनका पर्सपेक्टिव बढ़ सके, या फिर आप स्टार्टिंग आप कॉलेजेस से नेटवर्किंग कैसे करते हैं, या फिर आप जैसे जैसे करियर में आगे बढ़ते हैं तो कैसे नेटवर्किंग करते हैं और डॉक्टर्स से, वो ये जानना चाह रही है सर।
ओह दैट्स फाइन, ओके। आवाज वाज नॉट क्लियर नहीं थी उसकी एक्चुअली जो है। देखिए न्यू कॉलेज आई थिंक मेरे ख्याल से अभी हाउ ओल्ड इज दैट कॉलेज बेसिकली?
It was established in 22, sir, 2022.
22 already. First batch is yet to come out, isn't it? Not
Yes, sir. Yeah.
yet to come out. Yes. Okay. It's a really problem that at many places. I will give you some example that in that very good question of that. The government is very fond of establishing the new aims at new place basically. The funny part of that, the even the foundation of that building is not yet started, but the student have been taken enroll basically, and those students they are studying in some other medical colleges adjacent to the that particular area. So but they are now, you can see the situation, but here basically they have the established medical college here. Initially they do not have basically in surrounding those who can supervise their activities because they are absolutely new. So in this regard, madam, actually you have to develop yourself by social media or by basically interacting your seniors or your relatives or in family, friends and others thing. Nowadays there are many ways and methods basically how to interact with these seniors, because everybody will be senior to you. That is why, and you will learn from the senior, not from your counterpart. So I will tell you that to develop for developing the network, number one, go to the Google or the basically website of different good aims and good medical colleges out of India. Whenever there are some conferences, symposia, or seminars, and other type interactive events are going, try to join those. Reason being, once you join these areas, basically you will be in touch with many people, and especially the seniors. And this is the time when you require a supervision and develop your network. That is the face to face contact. And once you start interacting with them, and for the lifelong they will become your senior and their friend. That is the number one. Secondly, other than that, the webinars, the online webinars, basically, they are also being conducted. Like today, we are talking to each other. Basically, you find out from your net area, different department, and then you can also join because you are the undergraduate. You can join all the department, basically PG department, wherever the 50 year or the any other department. Basically, you have to develop yourself. And thirdly, you come to the in close contact of some other medical colleges nearby. They are already established here. So you can have some conversation or communication method with them. Nowadays, a best method is the WhatsApp communication, that you are interacting Facebook or Instagram and others thing basically. So you have to make certain effort basically how to develop your network. That is the reason. Or I think it's not possible all the time you go personally to meet people, but definitely I will advise you to start join the conferences, seminar, or the you can say workshop and other type of the CME, which are being organized by the higher institutions like the AIMS, KGMC, or Bombay, or Grant, or other hospital, BHU, and other PGI Chandigarh, SCMC Vellore. These are the good places and good people. I think you will interact with them. And you are in the Nizam Institute also in the Hyderabad, well established basically. You can go there to attend any type of the program. So these are the method of basically how to communicate and get a network with your seniors, basically. Yeah.
I hope you got your answer, Pragati.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank. Any other questions? Any other question anyone wants to ask? Yes, Pratik, go ahead.
So first of all, thanks a lot for such an enriching session. We got to know a lot about the challenges of medical education presently in our country. Sir, during the talk, you mentioned a point which probably I missed in the news, that NMC is allowing for-profit medical education.
Mhm.
So, could you explain the reason why NMC? What is the rationale behind this decision? And if the rest of the educational institutions in the country are not for profit, how come medical education is being allowed to be for profit?
You see the Times of India yesterday, 18 July, basically you go through. I'm just going to show you this also. This is the cutting I have also taken, and I'm talking about after going through this basically that the government is intending to increase more and more medical colleges and more seats basically. That is why there was the restrictions that for opening these medical colleges that should be the not profit basically. Now indirectly, unapparently, if you see basically the number of seats or colleges have been increased just to earn the money, because in the private hospitals approximately 1 crore is required to produce one MBBS doctor. In every minimum, I will tell you, maybe sometime like I'm in Uttarakhand basically, the private medical college they are charging approximately 18 to 20 lakhs rupees per year, plus that is a tuition fee, and plus hostel, and plus mess and others 4, 5, 6 lakhs in addition to that, 25 lakhs rupees per year into 5 years. Now you calculate, it has become a much business nowadays basically in the private system. Now the government, after having discussed the thing, this is the way to increase that number of seats. That is why basically now government is open a flood market that you can also start, provided that you have to observe the basically NMC norms. Rest you can earn the profit out of that business, because you have to invest as a capital investment in between, and then the recurring expenditure later on also. So you can earn. Now it has become, clearly has become a business for the private organization. And I will request you that in case you find that from the net itself, July 18, the NMC draft rules open door for the for-profit medical colleges. This what I am going to show you, and go through this article completely. You will find out the reason also, that as to why basically the government has taken the decision. The basic is that number of seats, they're not capable to increase number of seats. Now it is open because due to some compulsion that the not for profit, that large, the big organization, they have not come forward to establish the medical colleges. Now given the option open to open medical college and get profited out of that. So it means now you see what will happen after 2 or 3 years. Condition will further worsen basically. Now it is a business. I will request you go through that article.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Hmm.
Any other questions anyone has? Okay, Shravani, can you please summarize the session and just give a vote of thanks?
Thank you. Now, as we reach the end of today's session, it is my absolute privilege and honor to propose the vote of thanks. First and foremost, a heartfelt thank you to our esteemed guest speaker, Dr. Chandra sir, for sharing profound insights and valuable thoughts and time with us today. Your presentation was truly engaging and enlightening, especially at the points where you discussed the scale and expansion of MBBS seats and colleges, the annual seat growth, the faculty shortage and lack of skilled faculty support, then faculty flight to the private practices and private medical colleges, then the socio-political threats and other infrastructural challenges, as well as you have discussed the opportunities and the future course and possibilities in the sector. And we are truly honored to have you in today's session. We express our sincere gratitude to our organizing committee and Sneha ma'am, our editorial director at The Rise Foundation, for their tireless effort in making this webinar a success. A special appreciation goes to our technical support team as well. They are behind the scenes and ensuring this webinar goes smoothly. Finally, thank you to all the participants and attendees. Your thoughtful questions has made this webinar deeply rewarding. Thank you all once again, and we look forward to seeing you at the future events. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
sir.
Abhi.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaskar. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.